Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Is this going to be on next Monday?
Don't confuse me.
No, it's Monday night. It's the Tuesday edition of Monday Night Sports Talk.
That's a first.
Yes.
We had the Thursday night edition of Monday Night Sports
We might
Talk.
as well tell why we've had to postpone it. Because me,
You got a problem?
in my old age, have become what's known as a caregiver.
Ooh.
A patient caregiver.
Homemaker.
One of my strengths. You know, and by the way, I have not made the wife come to the stove and cook anything while she's an invalid. I
one up on one guy.
I went.
I brought her a nice chair.
So we might as well tell the story.
Well, are you sure you can?
I can without too much insult.
Homemaker.
Homemaker.
So a week ago, I was supposed to stay in Florida till March 25th, end of spring training, right? And
But she left for home early.
she left for home because she had to have dental surgery, which has been ongoing for a while, which is part of the drama. And Friday night, she was. We got these 2 stairwells, and she was taking something down the laundry room late at night and missed the last 2 steps. And but I didn't know this till Sunday morning that she was her left ankle was all swollen up, and we had not had the diagnosis of it yet. But she thought she crawled over on her butt to the couch and laid there for a day and a half.
Oh.
I called her like 5 times on Saturday.
So
and she
a week
didn't
ago,
answer.
a week ago
Yeah, a week
Saturday.
ago, and she didn't answer the phone. So I finally at 9 o'clock, I called again Sunday morning. She didn't answer the phone. I finally at Sunday morning said, "Are you alive?" I texted her because I always fear that. When you get in your older age, that one of us is going to be home alone for like a week, and I don't like that. When you croak and I want to be found within several hours.
I would think so.
That's my thing. I don't care if I'm dead. I don't want to embarrass myself after I'm dead by laying in the room like 4 or 5 days.
Right.
So because the bodies have a chance to ferment and all that stuff.
You continue with your story, but after your story is done, we're going to tell you why it's not a good idea to nap at a crematorium.
Yes,
but go ahead,
right.
Go ahead.
So anyway, she says, "Shut up and listen, and I'll tell you what happened." So she tells me she falls down. Her ankle's in terrible shape, but she's not able to get around. She's been laying on the couch on the lower level of the house. But she doesn't want me to call anybody because she thinks maybe in a day this obscenely swollen ankle will come popping right back without having any, because she hadn't made it upstairs since she fell. Well, I immediately called her sister. Her sister comes over, takes her to the emergency room, and they find a broken ankle, broken left ankle. Yeah, little crack in the femur and then a broken left ankle. Mm-hmm. But she also tells me that the dental surgery, which is implants, that she can't feel those implants and that she thinks she swallowed the teeth.
So I'm thinking
this is a violent fall, that she must have hit her face to have that happen. And of course, even though we've invested $4,000 in these teeth,
That's okay.
we're in a situation where we can't pry about the teeth, right?
No,
we can't.
you have to be nice.
Because when I've now discovered the ankle's broken and she's back home,
You're walking on eggshells.
we can barely talk about the teeth. We can't. You
But all
can't
you're
say,
seeing is that they're missing, and you just wrote a check for those teeth.
Yeah, we just wrote a check for those teeth. Well, anyway, it's a broken ankle. She's I say I'll come home as soon as I can, and I book a flight Wednesday morning. Now Tuesday she gets a walking boot. This is my dear wife Katie. Tuesday she gets a walking boot and calls me up and says, I think I can get around. I could drive.
Yeah.
You don't have to come home. And I said, oh no, honey, I'm coming home because let's face it. I'm not giving her that trump card for
Right.
the.
She needs that.
No.
When she
You
says
got to play the long game. After 35 years, you ain't getting sucked into that one.
Well, no.
You
The way I originally heard it, though, you said, "Do you want me to come home?" And she didn't say no.
She did. That was the first time on
Right.
Monday, but
Yeah.
then on Tuesday she said, "Well." Then when she said that, then I immediately booked myself a flight Monday.
No means yes.
No
Well,
means no comment means you're damn right. I want you to come home. Right.
Right. Roll
But
back to, do you want me to come home? All you heard was,
Tuesday, she says, "I don't think you have to come home," but
oh, I'm coming.
I'm coming home.
Big Daddy's coming home.
Yeah, because 2 years ago, you get a spat. You take a wrong turn, and
That's right.
and it turns into something more important.
That's
When you didn't come
Yeah,
home. Yeah.
it turned, and then you say, "Yeah, you care so much. You almost killed me driving, and you care so much. You didn't come home 2 years ago when I broke my ankle." So we're not throwing that one. We're not.
No, not
that
that was-
ammunition is not going to be out there. So I come home Wednesday, and I've been doing my best. I've been trying to.
You were wearing a little apron
I was
at
telling you
home and-
guys earlier, we got the problem is I'm down in there's this small house, but there's 3 living levels basically. And so I'm down on the bottom level where the one TV is, and she's upstairs watching whatever she watches. And then she'll say, "Patrick," and I'll respond, "Yes, dear." No answer.
Okay.
So I'll raise my voice. No answer. And then I raised it to the point about, "Yes, dear." And she says, "Never mind. I don't like the tone."
Oh,
so,
don't like the tone.
You're saying the acoustics of the
so
house
now
are not favorable.
she has trained her chubby, slow-moving husband to just run his fat arse up the steps as soon as he hears Patrick, because it's that's what you're going to have to do anyway.
I have some questions.
That's what you're going to have to do anyway.
I have
Anyway,
a
she's
question.
now home. The healing process is going slowly, and I'm
the
being a
ankle.
caregiver.
Yeah.
And it turned out the teeth hadn't been implanted
Okay,
yet.
that
she's
leads me to
fine.
my question.
Yeah.
Because central to this was what she perceived to be the absence of the teeth.
Yes.
She thought she lost her teeth.
There was small coverings
Right.
waiting for the permanent implant.
I understand how this works.
And then she paid more attention to what was in her mouth
Yeah.
after the fall, and couldn't
See, that's
feel
my question.
teeth.
When she looks in the mirror, wouldn't she
No,
know
they're
that
kind
she's
of back. They're kind of back. No, but when she looks in the mirror, they weren't full. When she looks in the mirror, she sees the gap.
They're just temporary caps or something.
Yeah, but they're smaller ones.
Right.
So So anyway,
Maybe in her.
we're good there. But the bad news is, I thought that 4,200 was the end of it.
Right.
Now we still got to get the caps.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that wasn't
So
full.
we're-
That wasn't the
we're
final
still-
payment.
We're still writing out the check for that.
Is this the
baby.
cadaver bone deal?
Yes.
Yeah. They have to go through that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I may have a solution to your acoustics problem on the different levels. A quick trip to maybe say Lowe's, Home Depot, or how about Fred Aloni's Ace Hardware and Garden Stores,
Walkie-talkies.
where you can get some. No, even better than that,
Walkie-talkies.
because this will be able to angle. You get some plastic PVC piping.
Build a chute.
And a chute. So when you're up on
Like
the
on a
third
ship.
level, you're like, yes, you're like,
We have
We have a spatula.
We actually have an old-fashioned close chute that
That
goes
is a-
from the third floor to the
Oh,
first
yeah,
floor.
that- stick your head in
I
there.
could keep the door,
Yeah.
keep the door permanently open, and say, "Yes,
Yes, with the laundry chute. Hey, stop throwing socks. I'm trying to give you a message.
Oh my God!
You know who loves laundry chutes?
Kids.
Grandchildren.
Yes.
They love laundry
They don't
chutes.
get in them, do they?
No,
They like to
just
drop
very,
stuff
very
down.
small, but they love to throw
My
stuff
parents
down there.
have one at their old farmhouse,
Yeah.
and the boys like going to play with that. And if the oldest could put his brother in it, he would.
to see if it works. Anyway, that's
That's an
why I'm home.
unfortunate. That's
Yes,
an
it
unfortunate
is,
mishap.
and I'm really trying to, but like when we can find a show to watch together,
yeah.
Netflix or something, Amazon, then get a little piece, a
little brevity.
yeah.
Well,
and
are you like
Of course,
Kenny?
the other problem is, how you feeling, dear? Stop asking me that.
You're just being nice.
Yeah, but it's a fine line that we walk. 'Cause,
Well, might you get back to spring training?
No, I'm done. I'm done. We got.
Well, there's
Sid's-
no access
we
now.
got, Yeah, we got no access now. That's a great one.
What do you
we
mean?
got
You can
Sid's
get in there,
birthday, by
can't
the
you?
way, the 50th. No, baseball.
You're kidding.
Baseball, football, hockey, and basketball. Well, football isn't
Right.
going around, but the three leagues, no non-essential personnel can go in the locker rooms or clubhouses.
Well, how is spring training being covered? They're in the paper today.
Judd told me yesterday, we want to talk to Byron Buxton. He took batting practice. So Byron comes out, they bring him out to the dugout, but everybody has to stand at least 6 feet away.
It's like me and Mock.
Yeah, right, it is. It's everybody, you in fact could lecture on the art of
How you doing?
interviewing from a safe distance.
You stand out on the patio.
You were doing
sterile
it.
distance.
You were doing it 40-some years ago.
right.
With one screen door between you two.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. So,
And he stood back from the screen door, too. He wasn't right up to it.
but yeah, see, he got that 6 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 6 feet. So apparently, and now non-essential personnel apparently includes the radio crew and the TV crew and all those. But I got a hunch that once the season starts, Marty
That'll
and
change.
folks will be declared to be.
Yeah.
But
Essential?
Joe, this is going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to sports management, because they're going to say, this works pretty well. We don't have these people in here snooping around, and okay, this virus is gone, but who knows what diseases they're bringing in here? The media. This is the start. This is the end of American sports writing as we know it.
Have you looked at the attendances in the box scores for the NHL and NBA?
Yeah, they're
Last night,
normal as always.
Milwaukee and Toronto and Utah played. 18,306.
Well, apparently Mormons don't worry about
Right.
Yeah, apparently they
Denver
don't.
and Milwaukee,
Yeah.
19,838 over capacity. Atlanta and Charlotte, 14,399, about $4,000 under capacity. NHL has no drop off that I've seen.
No, there's not. People are going to the games. And yet we're going to declare stadiums empty, even though I don't think we've had a case of a spectator at any sporting event having the virus.
No.
Do you?
I
have
did
no
see, though,
idea.
that the Wolves had a bit of a dip in attendance over the weekend. You think that had anything to do with the virus?
Yeah. It's a different kind of virus. It's called the standings. It's although they had a full house for Zion.
Oh, that's true. Yes, they
Yes,
did.
and they wanted Zion to put on such a good show. Nobody guarded him.
Where in the hell are the NHL box scores?
All right,
Maybe
there's
a bit
some
towards
place.
the end,
I
wasn't
don't. There probably weren't a lot of games last night.
Three.
Were there?
3 games.
I'm sure they were.
Oh, Pat, speaking of spring training, somebody emailed in and wanted to know the deal with Thorpe while he was gone from the team and whatnot.
They are not revealing it.
Oh,
I have my suspicions.
I got you.
He looked. Let me just say this: he looked awful.
Oh, really?
He had a gaunt look in his face, and when he came back, he looked a little healthier. He was gone for 9 days, and
Who's this?
The
Lewis
Twins
Thorpe, left-handed pitcher.
left-handed pitcher. Decent prospect, too. They have pretty high hopes for
Yeah,
him, don't they?
but Well, they did, but he's getting up there now. He's been at it a long time. He's had Tommy John, and then he had another injury, and he was a kid they thought might be to the big leagues by the time he's 20, but now he's older than that. So
I hope the NHL doesn't prohibit the handshake during playoffs.
Ooh, wow, that's a
Oh,
really good.
that'll be good. That'll be that.
Yeah.
The bureaucrats can't wait to be the first one to ban. To ban San Jose. Now you're right. The Sharks can't have crowds, right? That county that they're in, Santa Clara County, you can't have a gathering of more than 1,000 people.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. San Jose's
Jeez.
got. I think they have 3 home games, and this is going to expire April 4th. Well, what do they think is going to occur April 4th? Does anyone know the timeline for this thing?
No.
Do we just expect it's going to disappear?
I guess.
I think we should just roll it. Let our 40% that are going to get it, and get it over with. And by the way, does anyone know if you can get it again?
Yes, you can.
You can.
I
think
think yes.
So then there's no end game.
Well, what I've understood is it will now live among us the way the flu does. So one year you might get it, one year you might not.
Yes, but does this mean we're never going to be allowed to go to sporting events again as
I don't
long
know
as
what
we
will
live?
happen.
Or is there a coronavirus shot down the road here?
There's a
Well,
vaccine
somebody's
probably.
going to. But I did see a documentary, I think, on how the companies, the pharmaceutical companies, are spending no time trying to get, attack new forms of antibiotics and stuff, because it cost so many hundreds of millions to find a solution, and there's no funding for it. So we're just starting now. I suppose they're drawing blood and hoping they can find something in there, huh?
You didn't notice a decrease of any activity in Florida?
No.
There was
Nothing at
no
all.
decrease in activity over the weekend for the state boys high school hockey tournament.
No. No, I mean, I think people are. Yeah, the numbers are what? Yeah, Italy is a little goofy.
Yeah, their whole state is the Italian
The
country.
country
is now
has been closed down,
quarantined.
which really screwed me up because I've always wanted to go. I've never been to Italy. I thought this had been the perfect time to go because you get really cheap.
Really good
Everything would be
rates.
cheap,
You
good,
can get some
rate.
great.
But if all the restaurants are closed, that kind of defeats the purpose of going to Italy, right?
true.
Plus, I don't know if they have flights anymore, do they? They would close down the country?
They still have flights. Well, they have flights into Amsterdam and into Charles de Gaulle in France, but they're open. I looked the other day, and they're
Really?
open.
What is wrong with us? What do we expect? I mean, I don't get it.
Joe, I have coronavirus. What's coming up on the route?
I told you my flight back last Wednesday, not a mask in sight. I was very proud of all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, a full flight.
Full flight.
Yeah.
Not a mask in sight.
I'm happy that I don't have any air travel planned. I just soon stay away from the air travel.
Is there any instance of people getting it off airplane?
No, I'm not
airplanes?
suggesting
I
that.
stay away from cruise ships. That's my
ships, yep.
advice to you. That's by the way, I will never get a coronavirus on a cruise ship.
Neither will I.
That's a declaration?
Never having been on one.
What did Kenny call it yesterday? The floating ghetto barge?
I heard Kenny's Dave Dahl remark.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it, but I still, every once in a while, if I'm kind of sad,
Yeah.
I think about it and give
chuckle.
myself a chuckle.
Get a chuckle.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't. I
Give myself
We'll
a
have
this
to
in
play
my
that.
absence?
Yeah, this is when you were gone.
Yes. Yeah. Are we going to play it again?
Oh, I would. I don't know how to find it.
I can find
I
it.
don't know how to
Okay.
find it.
Yeah.
I forget what we were talking about.
Yes. Well,
What was the context,
I
Reeves?
can't remember.
It was the story.
You have not heard this. Boy,
Rookie
you
has
really have been out of circulation, right?
It was the story of the woman that was getting the umbrella.
That's right. There was a news channel somewhere in the South.
Yeah, like her whole family had died.
Her
and they
house
gave her
burned
an
down
umbrella.
and her sister died on the same day, and the local
Gave her an umbrella.
TV affiliate went out there and gave her a TV umbrella.
No.
And the TV defends this by saying
She asked for the umbrella.
she lost the umbrella in the fire, and we decided to bring her the umbrella. Their timing was a little off.
Yeah, they could have brought her a deed for a new house, but they decided to bring her the umbrella instead.
And so we were all wondering what we would bring. And somehow,
Just give me a minute here.
What would garage light? You know those? We got a lot of those keychains left.
you're
Don't
a
we?
window cling.
Window cling. We got a lot of window clings.
How about
What are window clings?
like the GL emblem?
However, okay.
One guy that I know did buy for the state fair last year some Garage Logic stickers that are actual stickers.
Yeah.
And then we realized that we couldn't give those out at the state fair, so we could give away some
I
Garage
got
Logic stickers
$800 worth of them.
sitting in your trunk.
They're in my trunk of my car.
Hey, Bobby Hagan, who nobody has treated Sid more kindly than Bobby Hagan. He actually likes him, and
he's a
he,
good guy.
takes him out to dinner and stuff. But I was talking to him the other. I had to write a Sid column for Sunday, and I called Bobby because I thought Bobby has deserved an accolade for the way he's. But he told me this story I hadn't heard. When Sid used to fly with the team, because they don't want a cluster when they're boarding the plane. They have like stickers on the seats. So Randall, seat in between, and then everybody comes in, and they want you to sit down where it says the sticker, but they're detachable stickers, obviously, and so there'd be 55 of those on the plane, and they'd let Sid fly, and he'd fly up front, and he'd be walking down the terminal in the airport there, and all the guys would come up and slap him on the back and say, "Sid, nice seeing you, Sid."
I've seen this.
How you doing? You've seen
Yes,
this.
I've seen this.
How you doing, Sid? And Sid would be saying, "Boy, these guys love me.
Yeah.
They're great." They'd all be putting their sticker on his back. They'd have like 30s. And Bobby said 2 weeks later, he'd go for it again. He'd think they were honoring him.
Here you go, Roy.
Saying mom lost her beloved possession.
Yeah, but they didn't have the common sense to say, fellas, we're going to get this gal an umbrella. Why don't you wait about 6 months?
Or present it in a new car.
Her sister just died and her house burned down. I don't think now's the time to.
I don't know.
Give them the umbrella.
I think they have a solid defense. I think it sounded like her Cub reporter just kind of screwed things up there because you've got to go.
No, it was
with
their version of Dave Dahl. It would be like if.
So you're saying that female voice we heard was a veteran reporter?
No,
the female voice you heard was the woman receiving the umbrella.
No, the reporter. The reporter who did the story.
Yeah. She was the anchorette back at the desk. And here goes George Flickinger out to the burned down property with an umbrella.
Well, but now the story. See, why didn't they put all this in there? The family asked the station for a new umbrella and asked George Flickinger to bring it to them. But they didn't put that in the story for some reason, which makes it sound really.
Dave would have given her an engagement ring.
Line of the century.
Good night, everybody.
Close the door and head out.
Yeah, you should just retire.
Can I have your coffee maker?
Pretty sure I'm done here.
I think you are.
But I just couldn't keep it up.
I know. Some lines are just too tempting. It really helped me show.
I think Dahl's a good enough guy. He'd laugh with me.
He would. He would be red-faced and he would laugh.
Rookie, you know what? I am so upset with myself that I forgot to play this upon your return for you.
That is beautiful.
Because no one in the building likes messing with Dave more than my guy, the rookie.
I put him on his heels.
Christmas
at the
party.
Christmas party
Yep,
a
here we go.
decade ago. When,
What? I got a question for you though. Serious question about Dave. How's this happen? How does a guy How does a guy?
Rookie, you got him though.
No. How does a guy never age?
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good.
that happened.
How
I
does
thought you
it
were asking
happen?
something else. Okay, we can run with this. Now I'm back in.
I don't.
What was your line?
He could have had the Matt McConaughey line out of Dazed and Confused.
Exactly.
But But why? How does there are certain people, about 5 on the planet, that don't age?
He looks like he's 40 every
I
year.
don't get it.
There's zero plastic surgery. He's as natural as it is. And
So Christmas party. This was
a crowded elevator going to the Christmas party. When I inquired of Dave, how long has he been crab free? What did the doc say about the crabs? And he was as red as this light. I said,
The
Dave,
test came back
I
negative.
said, yeah,
didn't it?
what did the doc say about those crabs? Is that negative? Or you good now?
I was on that damn elevator.
And he just bummed out. They couldn't say anything.
Oh, man.
But he is a good sport. I mean, through it
Well,
all.
by the way, have we announced your new job or not? Do we know?
Oh, he hasn't heard the update.
Well, he failed.
Patrick.
Pat,
You're not in?
he wasn't
Well,
eligible.
No, let's go through the
The
timeline.
full reveal is on Table Talk with Rookie's family, so that let me just get that plug.
Okay,
But
okay,
I'm
get table talk.
going
Okay.
to give you the short version is I was a sworn federal employee, an officer, TSA,
Yeah.
and with the Department of Homeland Security. My
Okay.
tenure was about 72 hours.
Okay. What
And
happened?
I was forced to resign.
Because
Some undisclosed findings.
what the hell?
No, because it was he couldn't work for who he's working for and still be a TSA agent.
You couldn't work for that agency that directs that company. So in
a
their
conflict
handbook,
of interest.
they said you can't do both. And I didn't know that until the last day when I was going to get my badge at the airport police station. So I
This
lobbied.
company?
Yeah, this company has in their
Not
handbook.
Hubbard.
Not Hubbard. The company that I work for over at my friend that works at the airport over there.
Okay.
You cannot have dual employment. It's in their handbook.
okay.
So
but
I
we
had-
did have enough time.
I wanted you to be a TSA agent because some 83-year-old matron would come up to it and you'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, you have to go to the back. We just
See, and that's they did. I
I
tried.
think we need more pranksters running the machines,
There we
especially
go.
when the lines get long.
Pat, you're pretty close to the truth because during my training sessions, I did have a little fun. I thought I was going to bring some. I thought I was going to
Levity.
revamp
Levity.
TSA. I would walk into the screenings just kind of like this. Like, hey guys, how you doing? Let's get some. And I was gonna entertain people like I do here on the airwaves. And the first session we had in training at about 8:05 after the class started at 8, I raised my hand and said, when do we just start practicing pat downs? Because I told them just outside, I patted myself down. Said I patted myself down and I am safe. Believe me, I checked everything. And they didn't think that was too funny. And then the practicing on it was supposed to be an 83-year-old gal,
Okay.
and I was making the fart sounds like, oh hey, Mrs. How you doing, Hilda? You okay? And they didn't think that was
didn't
funny in
think
the
any of that
training.
was a
Yeah,
joke.
so it
No,
was-
they did
they
very
accepted
serious business.
my
Rick.
resignation very
Well,
promptly.
that's unfortunate. I will say that when I lost my cell phone out at the airport,
Yes.
TSA was very cooperative. Even when I had to report to them that I left it in my brother-in-law's car, and he just brought it back to me. So, but I was running around like the proverbial chicken.
You without your phone would be something to see on video because you would.
Well,
be very
I was
panicked.
heading off to Fort Myers for the stay without the
Right.
phone, so that was. But I put it in the middle of the car there.
yeah,
in
you
the
told
deal.
us that.
Yeah.
Just in finishing, I would like to request. Joe has not honored this yet, but I think you and I have a pretty good relationship. I would like to be referred like a senator that is no longer Senator Coleman. I would like to be referred to as Officer Rookie because I was. And he has not abided by that at all. He
But we
won't
did
do
get
it.
enough time for you to pose in the uniform to mock you on social media.
Yes, I was compared to John Candy in Vacation when he tells him the park is closed. Paul Blart Mall Cop. Farmer Officer Fathead.
Yeah, federal
Officer
farmer fathead.
So it
Well,
didn't work out.
that was too bad. That'd be material for. I suppose you could not go on the podcast then and tell all the secrets of the TSA.
Probably not.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
they would shy away.
if I was trying to sneak through,
I think they would be met with resistance, I would say.
Yeah, there's we need more humor on the TSA. There's no doubt about it.
I hate to introduce a sports note.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, how far are we into it? Half an hour
Yeah.
here?
Buxton's going to face live batting for the first time.
Live batting practice, yes, today, right?
Today. Yeah, there was a
Today.
video on Twitter today.
Today, excuse me. That's when Judd and the boys had to interview him from 6 feet.
Right.
Today. Yeah, live batting practice for the first time. He probably won't play till the weekend, maybe. There's a very good chance he will not open the season on the
And what
active
injury
list.
are we recovering from?
The shoulder. He had shoulder surgery.
Rotator cuff?
No, he ran into the fence out
in
there.
Miami.
Yeah, the little abutment in the fence he ran into, and they didn't think it was that bad a deal, but it ended up, whatever it was, he had to have surgery on it.
And you think he might not start the season?
Well, he hasn't. You know, he'll end up with 15 ABs in spring training, probably at the max. So, I don't know.
Are they playing any of the real guys yet?
Well, yeah, some degree. They play him 4 or 5 innings. Yeah, Polanco hasn't played a lot either because he's coming back from ankle surgery.
Bits and pieces that I've seen, and it hasn't been many games on TV this spring, but this Kirilloff kid can hit.
I wasn't going to pay for it myself.
What
and
they
then
do? Run
start-
down there for one day and come back?
19 hours. They left on Friday, and as soon as the game, they started the game at what, 10:30 in the
I think
morning
so.
or something,
Saturday.
11 in the morning, and they ran out of there. And Rocco was so excited about it, he didn't let Polanco go, who's from the Dominican. And because these guys, they basically show up at February 15th, and they know what day Polanco's going to play and what day he's not, and he wasn't scheduled to play that day because they got him on a once every 3-day program. So not only did they not let him play, they didn't let him go over there and sign autographs either because you got to. And Rocco's public remarks, Joe, were, "Oh, this is a privilege." Mm-hmm. That did not appear to be his attitude in private. The 2,900-mile round trip to the Dominican to play the Tigers did not appeal to him, I don't think.
Really?
No.
Well, all it is a terrible break
they
in
did,
routine.
They didn't tell him until like the end of February, right?
Yeah.
They didn't announce
they
it
didn't
until
announce
like
it,
February 20th or something like that they had to do this. I'll tell you who was really unhappy was manager Gardenhire.
Oh, I bet.
Manager Gardenhire's in Lakeland, and the Braves have left Disney World. So basically, they can go to Tampa, Dunedin, Clearwater, and fight the traffic there, or they can go to the East Coast, or they can come down to where they have nobody. They have no neighbors to go play 8 times. They were playing the Braves 8 times. Now they got a. He says it's like being in the Southern League again. They're just on the bus all the time.
Yuck.
And then they stink too.
Oh, God, are they going to be bad?
They're still going to be really bad? Detroit didn't make any changes?
Well, they did. They signed 2 of our boys.
Yeah,
they
they
signed
signed-
Crone and Scope.
But that's not going to be enough to.
They got a ways to go.
No, Gardy last September said about September 15th. He says, I'd really like to come back, but I could understand if they fired. I could understand if they fired me. I could really understand it. Yeah,
They brought
they
him
didn't
back.
fire him. They made him come back. Yeah.
Well, who would be attracted to that job?
Well, I thought that they did fire McCabe as their AAA
Oh, they
coach
did.
manager because he kept telling them how all their phenoms stunk. He got this Daz Cameron,
Yeah.
who was supposed to be their hot.
Was Mike Cameron's kid, isn't it?
Yeah, they'd call up and say, "Should we bring Daz to the majors?" And he'd say, "No, you should send him to AA. He stinks." Yeah, he said he's not a Medcavage is like what I used to say about Yatesy. He doesn't blow up bridges; he nukes them.
When's the opening game?
The 26th.
March 26th,
Here?
Joe.
Oakland.
At Oakland.
When you covered ball, Joe, they started April 10th. They now start 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah, that's not good. Here we can get a blizzard easy this April.
Yeah, especially with March being this nice so far. That's a pretty good indication.
You can't put away your snow equipment yet.
No,
if you
heavens
do,
no.
it's going to be 10
Oh,
inches
I can
of
put
snow.
away mine.
You can.
Yeah,
I can't.
I don't. I got a shovel that I shovel the walk with once in a while.
You know it's inevitable. We've had April snowstorms the last 2 years.
And
we're good for one at least.
As I always say, that's the heart attack snow when you get it then. It's got a lot of moisture in it.
That's why you need a machine. You get the machine to do it.
Hey, did you watch any of Bay Hill Sunday?
Yeah.
How hard was the wind blow? I didn't get to see it. How hard was the wind? Must have been blowing 80. Those
No, it
scores
wasn't
were
blowing that hard.
Those scores were brutal.
The greens were hard as a
and,
rock.
and the rough was
thick.
Yeah. Those are scores you don't see except at the U.S. Open.
Right.
What, the winner was 4 under? 5 under?
Tyrell Hatton.
Yeah, and it was 4 under,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
Wow, that's Arnie's. Arnie's smiling because there was years when they were in the 20 unders and he didn't like it. So.
And no Tiger at the Players this weekend. They say still the back's not ready. I don't know what that
How
means.
did he get hurt again? He was playing great.
Well, he finished dead last in L.A. Maybe that had something to do with it.
How old is Tiger? When does he hit the senior tour?
About 44,
He will
43
never
or
play a
44.
senior event in his life.
You think so? He'll be toast by then?
No, it'd be
No, he
too,
just would be beneath
it would
him.
be beneath him, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was at the senior event in Naples. It's called the Chubb Classic.
Yep. Well, you were there for Harry's
For
debut.
Harry, and it was appropriate that Lumpy's first tournament was in the Chubb Classic.
Right.
But there was one set of bleachers on the entire golf course. There was no water on any places. There's no, maybe one concession stand out there. It's just, Hollis's 3M thing was like going to Augusta by comparison. And this is how a lot of the senior events are. They're low-budget golf tournaments. And I don't think Tiger's going to play in a low-budget golf tournament.
Aaron won some money over the weekend at the.
Did he finally win
at
some?
the senior tour in California? He won about 27
Good,
grand.
because his
25
first
grand.
2 weeks he did not make much money.
Well, he's playing against all the guys that beat him on the regular tour.
Yeah, and it's a putting contest, and he's not the world's greatest putter, but once in a while he gets it rolling. The funny thing about him is he's not the most in-shape guy that ever lived, but he always played his best in the hot, steamy weather. He always played
Get loose.
Played it good at Memphis and stuff like this. I think the 54 holes would be good for him because his Sunday rounds had a tendency to deteriorate. He said these 72 holes was a little much for him.
He can still hit it a long way. Though.
Oh yeah, he can move it. His whole family was down there watching him. It was great. Even Carson.
Right.
Carson was down there, and his wife. What's Cian?
Ann?
Right? Cian, right? No, his wife's Ann, but
Okay.
she was down there. But I'll never forget her. I was at Oak Hill for the PGA, and this kid of hers, who's a pretty good player now, another Carson. This kid was a year old, and he was the size of a refrigerator. And she was lugging this kid around Oak Hill, aptly named Oak Hill, with the up and down the hills. She had a nanny with her, but they had to take turns because this kid
carrying the beast.
This kid was a brick. It was a boulder. It was unbelievable.
Your Wild are in the playoffs as of this moment.
Are they in there? I know
think so.
Winnipeg went ahead of them, but I think they were in the second wild card for a while. What's going on? Is Fiala
Yes.
Are we finally honoring Paul Fenton for bringing in Fiala?
Fiala can be a guy.
He's a guy, and
be a
who's
guy.
and why is he here?
Fenton.
Fenton's fighters.
Fenton's fight. You're damn right. Let's give more credit to Paul Fenton if this team makes the playoffs, right?
They have a decent shot too because their remaining schedule. I mean, they play Vegas Thursday at home
Here, yep.
but they match up pretty.
Well,
decent
I was
against
with the
Vegas.
Jinx today for a couple hours this morning.
Who's the
The
Jinx?
Woodbury
Oh, the little
Jinx.
kid, yeah.
The
Don't let him
Woodbury
go to a
Jinx.
game.
I told him, I said, don't even try to get in those games. They got your picture up on the entrances, and they're not letting you in.
Right.
Like a post office.
Yeah, right. He says, I've seen him win once.
Maybe what the Wild should do is send him to other teams' games.
Yes,
see if
that's
that
true.
works.
Right.
Get him a Blues jersey or something.
Send him up to Winnipeg.
I bet he was happy the trade was made, though. Wasn't made because all of his stuff's Parisi stuff. So,
Yeah.
What do you mean they were alone today? They're not old enough to be alone. The kids in Woodbury.
No, I wasn't. I went out and hung out with them for a while
oh.
today. I know they're not alone. But I I went out and checked him out, see what was going.
Yeah, we got to do that.
I saw his team play the other day, though,
Yeah.
and I had to give him a little hell.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many 3-on-0 breakaways against him. Birdsville made them. I said, "You guys stunk. You know,
You
come
gotta
on.
tell
You,
them that.
you
You
gotta
gotta
play.
be honest.
You gotta play a little D. Come on. 7 goals in the first period to Birdsville.
Oh, man.
You need to tell him today you were not one of the guy.
No, you were not.
You're not one of the guys.
You a skater?
He was trying. Yeah, he was trying to blame the defense. I said, "Well, you know, you can go back and do a little.
You're
you can-
allowed.
You can help him out." I said, "If it's a 3-on-0 break, at least one of those guys is a forward." You know.
So they're saying they were like the Carl Anthony Towns trying to stop
Is he ever
Burnsville.
going to play again?
I don't think so.
No,
I mean, ever in his life?
Well, this season might be a bit in jeopardy.
I said today that
You told me he never missed a game with Tibbs.
never missed a game with Tibbs. He loved Tibbs. They, but the last time he cared about a loss was when Kentucky lost to Wisconsin in the semifinals of the. Did you see the quote from the guy, Joe?
No.
One of the 5 greatest quotes in Twin Cities sports
Who are
history.
we quoting?
Malik Beasley.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Michael Beasley.
Oh, this is
Although
great.
in the quotes you could. They won 2 in a row. They beat
New Orleans.
New Orleans down there. They played pretty good, and then they beat the lowly Bulls without Zach LaVine. And then they played the Magic. That was a game I went to Saturday night, right? Or Friday night.
Friday night.
They were pathetic. They didn't guard anybody. And he said, "We were complacent. We were spoiled by success."
Oh, my. I did see that. I did see that. 2 games.
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
After losing 18 out of 19, I believe.
Oh, my God. What's
Spoiled
wrong
by
with Towns?
success.
What is Towns claiming?
Knee injury, but I think they're trying to lose too. You know, they're
With a wink and a
they're,
nudge.
they're at least trying to maintain their position so they have the second most ping pong balls. I think. Has
Respectfully
Golden
tanking.
State won any games with Curry back? I don't know if they
I
have or
haven't
not.
paid much attention. I can't answer that.
No. Well,
Did they fall in the tank?
Well, they've had everybody hurt.
yeah.
About
everybody-
LeBron
okay.
saying he ain't playing
And
if
if
there
there's
ain't
not
no fans.
Good. Go. Finally can agree with him. Go LeBron. Yes, I agree with you. You know, we're not gonna get rid of it. We just gotta live our lives. Let's go.
I
As you
agree.
say, buy your stock in that what's the stuff? Yeah,
Purell.
Purell,
there's
Clorox,
Katie's got
the
one with
wipes.
a G on it. G
Some kind of soap.
G swipe.
yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
Soap's better than hand sanitizer.
Soap is?
Soap
Plain
is.
old soap?
That's what I
What
read.
if it's got an aroma
I
in
want
it?
soap. I want
Okay,
Irish
okay.
So you want to
Spring.
lather up.
That's what I read.
I want Irish Spring.
want
I
some-
just want to know if you get it, how long before you can get back out in circulation?
I don't know.
Just 2 weeks?
Maybe
A
I could-
couple
I don't-
hours.
I don't want to. Yeah, like the
Bingo, bango, bongo.
yeah.
Just
Who
get
was the
out
guy?
there.
The guy that who was the? We got a U.S. senator, right, who's been exposed, but
Yeah.
he's hanging out.
I guess.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
You're attributing your health to 8 Diet Cokes a day.
Yep,
That kills everything,
yep. It'll kill
including
everything.
your stomach lining.
No, stomach's good.
Yeah.
Stomach's good.
Speaking of your stomach, if you want
And
to fill
I
your
did have
stomach,
the guy that said that he worked at a photo lab, though, and they'd get these shavings, these silver shavings in a tube, and it'd get clogged up, and their solution was a liter of Diet Coke they'd pour on it
Oh,
and it'd eat it up. I
Just
said,
sitting
"That's
right in
good
there."
for me.
Don't
But
you hit
this
the-
is only 2 today. I'm way down low.
don't hit the start button. Don't you hit the
I'm
start
curious.
button.
I'm
I'm not on the
curious.
clock
We gotta have
until
an
you
ad.
hear the name
gotta
of
have
the
an
place
ad.
first. Until you hear the name of the place.
Hey, by the way,
Yes.
the wife's laid up, with the broken ankle.
Oh, to go.
Yeah, well, I say.
Well, then just grab the
we can
certificate and
make
let's go.
We can make the $300 thing a stag.
I think
You
we
know,
should do this.
yeah,
And I know the
stag,
right place to
that's
go,
right.
but I'm not going to name it
Jax.
yet because the clock starts then.
Okay,
But
here
it's
we
in
go.
Northeast Minneapolis. And if you don't know where to go, you should know by now. You're a Monday Night Sports Talk listener. You're a Garage Logic podcast listener. It's Jack's Cafe in Northeast Minneapolis. For all of your private dining needs, whether it's a groom's dinner, whether it's weddings, whether it's just your family get-together or your work party for Christmas, get in touch with Jack's Cafe. Call 612-789-7297.
Christmas would be a little early to book Christmas.
Well, you want to book it before all the slots are gone,
He
right?
threw Christmas in
You want to do that? You want to do that before? Book it right now because they do book up.
I did see the Christmas tree lot open the other day.
Did you hit pause? I'd like to yield
No,
this
I
balance
have
of
not.
5 seconds. Easter, all sorts of great events, and Jack's Cafe, 3 generations. Billy does a great job, and the patio is decked out. You are going to love it. The ambiance is second to none.
Valentine's Day next year.
I think
Valentine's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day for next year, 2021. You call Jack's Cafe. They're online at jaxcafe.com. Ask about the rookie date night menu, 612-789-7297. It's Jack's Cafe. Tell them the Rook sent you. $59.60.
I think the reason he got booted after 72 hours was he asked him if he could have Christmas off.
No, I think it was the whoopee. It was the whoopee cushion stuff. They didn't think that was too
Hey,
funny.
when is that? When is the plucky Easter holiday? When is that this year? A little later.
2
this
weeks
year?
from Sunday, I believe.
No.
Really?
2 weeks, 3 weeks from Sunday.
Easter 2020,
first-
April 12th,
Oh, wait, late. Okay,
It's a late Easter.
2020.
Late Easter.
that's right. Yeah, we always that used to be a big discussion in our house. Was it a late Easter or an early Easter?
Has something to do with the moon.
Boy, I got the Catholic traffic jam down this year, though. Yeah, I got her.
Well, all you'd have to do is find out what the mass times
time.
are.
You leave at 9:30, but if you leave between 9:30 and 10, if you don't hit that, then you got to wait till 11:30. So that's really the time to leave.
So you had to
9:30
make the
10.
light.
Yeah, well, I had to make the non-traffic jam. But then the trouble with that damn place is then you're going to run into there's another church you're going to run into a bunch of Baptists, and they can clog up traffic too. So
Where's Joe going? He's got to make the light.
Remember those days?
Not anymore.
Remember
Not
those days?
anymore.
Yeah.
No,
We don't even have a podcast. We live in perpetuity, don't we, on that podcast?
yes.
Well, boys, this was Monday Night Sports Talk on a
first,
Tuesday.
First ever Tuesday edition. We had the Thursday edition of Monday Night Sports Talk.
Yep.
That lasted about 4 weeks, but this is the first Tuesday
Was
edition. of
Thursday
Monday.
night before you guys get fired?
Thursday was when I changed papers, and I said, "Well, I got to write for Tuesday, so I better." And then after about a week, I said, who gives a damn? Let's go back to Mondays. Come on, don't worry about it. We'll think of something.
Right.
All right. Well, if you're looking for more podcasts, you can go to podmn.com on your computer, and that's all the Monday Night Sports Talk.
Let's all send
podcasts.
best wishes to Katie,
Yes.
the wife with the bad ankle.
Darn it. And,
Godspeed.
and I'll pray for you, Pat, too, to
sure. Well,
continue to be nice with your
Improve
apronly
your
duties.
tone.
And don't forget about that PVC pipe thing. Are you there down there, Katie? I can hear you. All right. We'll catch you next time. Monday Night Sports Talk podcast version available at podmn.com and PodMN on your phone app.
Ricey here for my friend, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. I've been telling you about Josh Arnold for several years because Josh is my investment advisor. I recommend him to anyone looking for straight talk and sound advice. Josh won't give you sugar-coated answers to important questions. He makes it his mission to help people like me and you achieve the financial position needed for a secure future. For a no-obligation 48-minute consultation, call 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Call Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, today and set up your 48-minute no-obligation consultation and get the personal attention you deserve. Call 952-925-5608. Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk.
Investment advisor services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a registered advisor in the state of Minnesota. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. It's crazy to think that a few weeks ago we were talking about whether or not Tua Tagovailoa should consider retiring after 2 concussions and worldwide debates on player safety and NFL culpability. Tua has done nothing but go back to work and currently has the Dolphins riding a 3-game win streak and 1 loss behind the division favorite Buffalo Bills. While everyone was yapping about the end of his career, Tua Tagovailoa said he'll decide when it's time. And clearly, he's not ready to hang up the cleats. Hi, this is Chris Howard from the Plugged In with Chris Howard podcast. BetOnline.net is your number one source for betting football and the start of the new basketball season. Find all the latest player developments, team matchups, news, podcasts, and in-depth analysis on every game. BetOnline remains your continued source for all your sports wagering information with live betting, up-to-the-minute scores for the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite games and events, including the MLB playoffs, the start of the NHL season, MMA, boxing, and golf. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts.